Yet again, the National Football League has decided to desecrate the sacred American sport of football, a sport that has united Americans for decades by playing the divisive Negro national anthem before the game. Now look, I certainly have no problem with there being a black American national anthem, but there's a time and place for everything.
This is Armstrong Williams, a conservative who owns the Baltimore Sun, along with David D. Smith. Of note, Williams is a close, and I mean close, confidant of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. In this video, Williams says, "We don't play the Asian American national anthem. We don't play the Muslim American national anthem, the Indian American national anthem, the Native American national anthem. What's caused us to play favorites over certain Americans than every other race?" He'd say the moment you start playing favorites, you exclude everyone else. He'd of course, and I mean of course, clamor to the line of, "Sports is here to unite and heal, not divide." Within a few seconds, Williams would say, "That's why we play the American national anthem, because it includes everybody." He would go on to preach colorblindness in his video. And of course, it is no shock, he is a staunch supporter of MAGA and Donald Trump.
And for the people who have no clue, who have no understanding, who know nothing about history, Lift Every Voice and Sing was not penned by James Weldon Johnson as the Negro National Anthem. No, it's a hymn. It's a Christian hymn. The song was first sung publicly at a celebration of the birth of former President Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, that was the first time.
First, Roland Martin would rebuke him to a T.
So all these people, all these right wingers, why are they singing, the Negro National Anthem? Why are they, I don't understand why. Charlie Kirk, the one who wants to get rid of the Civil Rights Act and MLK holiday. Only our actual national anthem should be performed at the Super Bowl.
And there's a lot more.
That song that speaks for all of us, the song that represents all of us. When the Star Spangled Banner was written, it did not become the nation's anthem until a century later. Francis Scott Key in Baltimore wrote this song. Problem is, we don't sing the full song. And we don't sing the full song because that third stanza is problematic. Because the third stanza talks about slaves and the British. Their foul footsteps pollution, no refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of fight or the gloom of the grave. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave over the land and of the free and the home and the brave. He writes about those slaves.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
So, Armstrong, you're full of shit by saying, "Oh my God, it's a song that brings us together," and all. You're wrong. The actual song doesn't. The actual song was written by a slaveholder. The actual songwriter, see again, I'm juxtaposing two different songs. James Weldon Johnson writes a Christian hymn. Slaveholder Francis Scott Key writes a song that praises the slaveholders, that praises them in their fight for the British and degrades the enslaved people of African descent for fighting with the Brits. So actually, Armstrong, if I am to compare two songs that really represent America, represents Americans, that represents unity, then I probably will say, if I am comparing the history of these two songs, the songwriters of these two songs, then I probably will say that Lift Every Voice and Sing is much higher and more representative of unity of the people of this country.
So let's talk about this, okay? I watched this video. The reason why, by the way, full transparency, why I had to narrate under it is because there was background music playing, and if there is, we're going to get demonetized, and it's just not cool. So let's get into this. I'm hearing Armstrong Williams say, well, what about the Indian American national anthem? And what about the Muslim? He didn't say it that way, of course, but what about the Muslim American national anthem? And what about the Asian American national anthem? This man is a political commentator. He's a writer, and he is very wealthy. And yet it is astounding how he is saying things off the cuff, and there's no such thing for what he's saying. It does not have merit. He is saying this because he's basically a trust me bro. He's a react bro. That's it. The Asian American national anthem. And some of y'all will probably say, well, that's his point. There shouldn't be one. Au contraire. Roland broke it down, and I learned about this through the Colin Kaepernick protest, is that Francis Scott Key was a slaveholder, and his entire rendition of the national anthem, which we sing, I mean, I don't, but which we sing, is intentional in what different venues allow us to say. Actually, each venue. And what they don't, because I'm glad Roland hit the nail on the head here with this. The rendition includes slavery. So, I mean, are we just picking and choosing how a man felt about certain things? You know, that's actually emblematic of a certain piece of scripture, a religious book, that some fanatics like to do as well. So I guess they're keeping with the theme. What gets me about this is that the national anthem clearly is designed to only speak for a certain demographic. So this whole Charlie Kirkness and Armstrong Williamsness of it's for everybody. No, it's not. It's not. It is designed to serve as an oppressed song, especially when the person who wrote it owned people. I don't know, man. I think if there was somebody who said, hey, I'm going to write the anthem for a country, but also I participated in the slave trade and I benefited from it, I don't think I'd rock with that guy. Maybe my moral standards are just a little different than some other people. But that's how I feel about it. So when I see, Travis Kelce saying, America is, we're the greatest nation in the world. In what? The Star Spangled Banner, the greatest national anthem, and it speaks for everybody. Really? Who do you think? I'm baffled by this. But then, you know what? Simultaneously, I'm not. I can't be. And basically, as I have come to realize over the years, it's just the same stupid talking points over and over. Sports are meant to heal, not divide. That's why we need to honor Donald Trump at the Super Bowl. That's why we need to have Palantir endorsements and advertisements right next to the scoreboard. And that's why we need to have non-guaranteed contracts with the people who are making the top 1%, the billionaire class, even more money year over year. And their teams continue to accumulate wealth as they continue to accumulate wealth. That's why we need something like race norming, so we can't pay out the players. We're sacrificing their bodies for our entertainment and for me, the top 1%, to make more money. I mean, I feel like it's big boomer energy. That's how I feel. I feel like it's very big boomer energy to continue to say that this is what we're talking about when we say the national anthem and football is about uniting. That's why football is uniting. That's why we have fans of one Super Bowl team doing a racist chop. Where was that? Armstrong Williams. The more I read about this guy, the more I despise him, because he is, along with Mr. Smith, the other co-owner of the Baltimore Sun, people who want us to be fed a certain message. And if you remember the supercut that I believe Timothy Burke did for Deadspin years back, he's a part of that too. He's a part of Sinclair. He's a part of that movement that wants us to only get the news a certain way. And to be honest with you, in closing, troubling to say the least. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.